So this is the second part of my Eurorack tutorial, and in this tutorial we are gonna explore pitch signals and gate signals coming from the Bitwig Studio Grid over the Expert Sleepers audio interface to the Eurorack. So let's start the video. If you want to save some money on Bitwig Studio and the upgrade plans, and you want to support my channel and my content, then go to my webpage, use the link to the Bitwig store, use my code and save 10% on the regular price. In our last video, we built this basic patch here. So pretty simple stuff. We have an oscillator going into a filter, and the filter is going out into the audio out, and this audio out is going to Bitwig Studio, and we're gonna modulate this filter here with this ADSR. So pretty easy and simple stuff. And today we want to use the pitch signal from Bitwig Studio, and we want to use a gate signal from Bitwig Studio to actually change something inside the Eurorack here. Okay, so the first thing we need is of course some control voltage output, and we're gonna use here an CV pitch output in the I/O category. So we're going here for this module, and we're gonna select here on the left side our modular right audio output. And then for the pitch signal, we're gonna use a simple pitches module here, which has some pitch informations inside, and we're gonna hook this up. And now we should have some data going on port 4 here, as you can see in the Expert Sleepers module. So all we have to do now is take the signal and feed it into our oscillator. And the oscillator 2 here has an input called 1 volt per octave. And that's exactly what we need. So we're gonna connect this. And now we should have some pitch. And now you can hear that the pitch signal is changing at a different speed than the ADSR is opening the filter. So we need a gate signal from Bitwig Studio to have some synchronization. So how do we do that? It's also pretty simple. So we're going here to I/O and use an CV out, and we're gonna use a gates module. Connect this, and in the gates module we are gonna select modular left as an output. And now you can see we have data going on port 3 here, and all we have to do now is connect this to our ADSR, and we are use here ADSR 1, so we're gonna need the input check gate of ADSR 1, and we're gonna switch cycle to off. And what we can do now is we can use some audio effects here, maybe a delay, and use this on the output of the Eurorack. Something like this. So I want to stop the video at this point, and I want to talk for the rest of the video about if the Eurorack system is something for me, or something I would use in my daily production life. And I have to answer this with a no, because I'm a digital native. I'm coming from mouse and keyboard, and I'm used to it, and I love all the features about it. So my first problem with the Eurorack was basically the physicality, and I know a lot of people go exactly because of this to the Eurorack, because they can touch it, they can use cables and stuff like this, and then they have some kind of relaxation making sounds with it. But for me, I'm having a digital background. I want to go straight to the stuff, to the idea I have, and want to realize it, right? So the first problem with the Eurorack for me was the physicality. So when you go to the grid and you have some module you like and you want a second version of it, you duplicate it until your memory is basically full. With the Eurorack, you have to buy another module for money. So then maybe your case is too small. So when you want to have 20 new modules, you need a new case, which is also pretty expensive. You have to think about which modules you need beforehand, before you patch. With the grid, you go in and have 350 modules and don't need to think about what you buy next to make something happen, right? You just go in and play around and have fun. So with the Eurorack, you have exactly to think about what you want to do next, why you need the module, and how you store it in your case, or maybe if you need a bigger case, something like this. So this was my first problem, because I wanted to do some advanced patches I'm used to in the grid, but I can't do it because I have only a limited amount of modules available. The second problem was the patch cables. So because of the physical limitations of the Eurorack, you can only use one cable at a time in one jack. So inside the grid, for instance, you can go from one oscillator to multiple different modules and just drag out the cables, and you have basically a new pathway set it up. But inside the Eurorack case, when you go from the oscillator to the filter, then the jack is covered. You don't have a second jack basically to use. So I had to use sometimes something like this here, a small branch out utility device. I don't know how it's called in English, but something like this. Or maybe you have to buy another module, a patch bay module, where you can branch out to different other modules. So this was a limitation I'm not happy about, to say it that way. So I wanted to do more, but it's not possible because of the physical limitations. Speaking of the physicality of the Eurorack, there's also this problem with the cables. When you make big patches and you have a lot of cables, all these cables are covering up the actual interface of the Eurorack. So when you want to reach out for a knob, you have to find your way through the cables to touch the actual knob. I know that a lot of people actually love this feeling of this physicality, touching something, and they love this feeling, having a lot of technical stuff around them, and it makes them feel great, and actually makes them feel that they actually doing something or something like that. But for me, it's more like want something to happen on my speakers, and I have an idea how this should sound, and I want to go in and want a nice interface and get my idea out of the head. So it's not so important for me to have this feeling of a lot of cables, a lot of technical stuff surrounding me. That's not important for me. But this was a problem for me on the Eurorack also when the patch got bigger, these cables covering up the interface. The next point is sound. And normally you buy an external synth because of the sound. But I have to say that I felt that the difference wasn't as big as it was going to trump all my other problems I mentioned earlier. But that's just my opinion, of course, and everyone has different priorities, right? So it's just my opinion, keep that in mind. But for that little leap of, or in analog warmth, you pay a price in money, and of course you pay a price in physical limitations you have in the end, right? Okay, this have sounded all negative maybe, but it was just the reason why I think the Eurorack system is not really something for me or for myself. I can't deny that making patches or patching is fun, and I can understand why people prefer all the limitations over a digital system or a DAW. Maybe I could imagine to use or to work with the Eurorack system in the future if I really had the whole room full of modules, and I could use the full potential of the system, but I only had a small little Eurorack from Bastl, and it was fun to patch with it and to make some videos with it. But I saw the limitations, I wanted to do more, and I had to use or to buy more modules to actually make this happen. And this was shying me away from the whole system. So that's it for this Eurorack series on my channel here, I think, for the next time. But maybe it was fun to you to watch. Give me some feedback about that. Maybe you want more of these hardware videos. I don't know if my audience is interested in something like this. Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel and leave a thumbs up if you liked the video. And until next time, see you and bye.